It's Magic, 102.3 and 92.7, the real sound of the DMV with Luther. It's 4:38 Night Magic. We have a special guest in the studio. Michael Rapaport is with us.
Yeah.
Thanks How you doing, man?
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Man, it's good to have you here.
It's good to be here. Good to see you, Donnie. You're looking fantastic, man.
Thank
You're looking
Mike.
smooth, Donnie. Looking smooth like in the 80s on BET. I used to see you after school every day. Looking fantastic,
Well,
man.
thank you, man. Oh, that's going back a ways.
Yeah.
We're going to bring that thing back, too, though.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They need
It's
to.
this age of reboots, man. I'm bringing it back.
You have to.
Yeah. Why
Everybody,
not?
you have to. I mean, especially with the soul. I mean, there's so much, soul music and R&B and that whole era of music is so important. And the music has changed, whether it's good, not good, it doesn't matter. That era of music, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, in the soul and obviously the hip hop, but I mean, you were bringing in all the soul and all the R&B. I remember it. It was a big deal back then, and there was so much less accessibility. So
Right.
you didn't know. I didn't know you were in. At the time, I didn't know BET was in DC. I didn't know the show was in DC. You just turned it on. You didn't really know when it was on. You didn't keep track of things the way you could keep track of things now.
Right, that's right.
And I was a kid, but I'm a longtime fan, and I'm happy to be down here in
Wow,
DC.
thank you, man. Well, I'm a big-time fan of yours, too, man.
Thank you.
You've had, what a career. Tony was talking about that, how extraordinary it is.
You do everything: comedy, drama, TV, movies, podcasting, everything. It's pretty extraordinary and pretty unique.
Well, I've had a good a run. I've had great opportunities. I've worked with a lot of good people. I've worked with people that I grew up watching as an actor before I started acting, I just keep rocking and keep trying to do my thing, keep trying to expand my horizons, keep trying to push myself. It's the first time I'm performing in DC. I'm at the DC Improv doing stand-up comedy this weekend, and I'm excited to be here. I mean, DC, where we are in the world today, like, DC, it's like this. You think there's all this stuff in your head, and then you get here, and it's just like, it's regular people.
Right.
But when you're far away, you're like, you don't know what the heck is going on here. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be down here.
Yeah, how much material does Trump provide for you?
I hit him up a little bit.
Yeah?
I hit him up a little bit. I mean, when I do this stuff on stage, I try to. You can't go too far with anything. But I definitely hit him up. I definitely hit him up because those are my pep rallies. When I'm doing stand-up comedy, those are my pep rallies.
Right.
So I like to.
So 3 nights.
3 nights.
2 shows tomorrow night, 7:30 and 9:45. Then Saturday night, 7 o'clock and 9, and then on Sunday at 7. So
Some of the shows are sold out. Just
is that
saw
right?
that online. Some of the shows are sold out.
Of course
so
they are.
Get your tickets.
So what made you go back to comedy?
You know what? I have a lot to say, and I feel like, as you get older, you go through the trials and tribulations of life, family, kids, divorce, everything, and I just, the things is having a lot to say, and like you said earlier, I'm playing around with different genres. I have my podcast, and I'm always going to love acting. That's always going to be like my first love.
Yeah.
But I just feel like my point of view, doing it stand up. The thing I love about doing it is the unpredictability of it, for better or for worse. Because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Like the crowd, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's lukewarm, sometimes it's a give and take. Sometimes they want to talk, sometimes they don't want to talk. And even when it's not going your way completely, like that sort of energy that you get from that unpredictability is something that I love. I'm trying to just hone my craft and have a good time. But I definitely come in and try to make it disruptive.
Yeah.
Like it's not, like I'm not, I'm there to, talk crap.
Right. That's Tony's background too, by the way. It's comedy.
Yeah, started in
Did you
stand-up.
really?
Yeah, did it professionally for 9 years.
That's cool.
And that was
Out here?
Here and everywhere, up in New York.
Got you.
Yeah, but that was one of the things that attracted me to it as well. That on any given night, you could do 2-3 shows a night. Every show's going to be different, even though you might start out with the same basic material.
There's no way.
Right. It's all, and it's based on the energy of the crowd, what they're giving.
And I love that. That must have been cool. You because Charlie Barnett, one of the great.
I remember Charlie Barnett.
He's out of DC,
yes,
right?
He was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, and stand up is such a, it's such an. You're never gonna master it, because there's so many things to say. Like, look at the Chappelle special that everybody's hot on. you know, as a guy who's done so much in his career, and then to sort of like somehow, some way top. This is kind of like the crowning jewel for at this point of his career, and we've talked about a guy who's been rocking and rolling for 20
years.
something,
Yeah, 20
killing
something.
it,
Right.
and then he did this, and you know, and like you can't say, well, this is the best he's ever going to do, because you know he's going to come and do more.
Yeah.
That it's a never-ending resource, because it really is ever changing based on what's going on in your life,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
what you're seeing in the world, and that's why somebody like him is so incredible, because he's able to take the littlest things and turn it into these 10, 15-minute,
Right.
you know, bits.
He's
which
brilliant, man.
He's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, man.
He's ridiculous. But I'm tripping that I'm here with you, man. Like I said, I've been such a fan of yours for so
thank
long,
you, man.
I really have been.
Thank you. I got to ask you this: with Eddie Murphy coming back, are you going to be in the front row taking notes on what he's
Definitely.
wearing?
I wonder, will he right? He can't rock the leather now. You know, but he'll have to do like a toned down version of it. Like
Yeah,
you know,
right.
he'll have to have some sort of something leather. If he doesn't stand up, he's got to
gotta
have
come with some
something.
leather, right.
Some leather. Did he ever come on your show back in the days? Like on,
No, we never had him on Video Soul.
that's because
What? Now I'm saying that, and somebody will say, "No, there's
you
YouTube."
might have remembered. You might have
Donnie
forgotten.
Sometime I forget. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
right.
but he was that dude. And I mean, the outfits, to think about, like, he was up there wearing like Rick James, you know, like Parliament Funk, and
right.
he's doing stand up.
Right.
It's wild, you know,
I know.
like the how much of the way he looked was such a it sticks in your head with
Yeah.
that red outfit and then with the blue and black outfit. So, you know, but he was my guy.
I got to tell you this: first time I saw Delirious, his first one, I didn't laugh at all, and I'm going
Really?
to tell you why. Because people I kept hearing, "You got to see this guy Eddie Murphy. He's funnier than Richard Pryor." So right away,
You get defensive.
you got a wall up. I'm defensive. Like, nope, I've already decided. I don't care how long I live or what I see. Richard's my guy. You know, so I didn't laugh.
That's funny.
the next 300 times I saw it.
Right. That's funny.
Right. But, you know, I call it the David Ruffin syndrome. When David Ruffin left the Temptations and Dennis Edwards came in, I was like, please. You know, it's automatic resistance. You know, when it's your guy.
I get it. It's like, you know, like with Jordan and LeBron and Kobe
Right,
and like,
right.
you know, we're
Right.
not.
I don't even want to hear it.
But we, you know, I mean, Jordan is the best. You
Yeah,
know,
no
you know,
doubt.
He's the best. You can't.
There's no argument to me.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's 6-0. He can't.
Right.
There's
Right.
no
Thank
3-7, 3-6. Wins one, lose one, trade here, big three, Miami.
My man.
Back to Cleveland. It just was what it was. You know, and I hated him. I was a Knicks fan. I grew up I wasn't trying to be like Mike. I wanted to kick Mike's butt. But that being said, he was that dude.
Oh, no question, man. So you did this documentary on a
Yep.
Tribe Called
Yep.
Quest.
Yep.
So you're a big hip hop head, obviously.
Huge. And yeah, I did a doc on a tribe called Beats, Rhymes, and Life, The Travels of a Tribe Called Quest. They were, you know, one of the most important groups, game-changing group.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasure to do it. Obviously, with the passing of Fife, it was just an honor to do it. And that music and you know, Tribe and everything, you know, around that time in 80s, 90s hip hop, it means so much to me.
Yeah.
And I'm such a fan of it, and it shaped my whole childhood and my life, and it's still like probably like the genre of music that I go to most often. It's crazy, but it's just so timeless, and they were just so, you know, when you think about like especially like Tribe, but like all those dudes like Rakim and KRS-One and you know all you know the majority of that group, you know, those groups, they were like 17, 18, 19 years old, and
Yeah.
they were kicking so many so much prolific knowledge,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were kids. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
wild to think like they were so young. You know, they were a little bit older than me, but like you thought they were older because they had like beards. I don't know what
Yeah.
about it, but then you're like, yo, we were 17 when you did this, 18 when you did this,
Right.
and you know, it just goes to show that it doesn't have like so much of the music. Well, they're kids. They have to grow into it. Nah, these dudes were doing it when they were kids. You
Yeah,
know, so it's where their heads were at. It is a special. I mean, you know, it's a special time. You know,
Oh, yeah.
for music, and it's like I think when you hang on to like your youth and your memories, you know, of what impact, like you were saying about Richard, like that was your
Yeah.
guy, you know. So it is what it is, you
Yeah,
know, in terms
and
of how you hold on to it.
Yeah, whatever the music of your youth is, nothing's ever better than that.
Period.
You know, right.
Period.
Heroes,
The memories,
music,
the changes, you know, the memories like when you first heard it, how you heard it, and I think, you know, back then, you know, the way we received music, like what I was saying when I would watch you on BET, I didn't know when it was going to be on. If you played a certain video, you might not see it again for another 2 weeks. You couldn't, if somebody had a recording of it or the radio, like, you'd get a recording or you wouldn't get a recording, and then people would talk about a song before you heard the song. Now it's you get the excessive, you could hear it so quickly. But like if you were chasing down Eric B for President, Eric B and Rakim, or even like that Dennis Edwards song, like that Don't Look Any Further. Like that video is so whack, and it's such an incredible song.
Right.
But when you saw it, you were like, what is, like that beat, like you remember seeing, like I saw that on BET, or, like you remember seeing it, and like you might not have caught it again for a couple of weeks.
That's right.
So it imprinted, and you remember, you talked about it, like, I need to catch that video again with that beat, and, so.
For Rick Chill, our producer, like the first time, he always talks about the first time he heard Sugar Hill Gang.
Yep.
It was on my radio show. You were
Donnie
as a
Simpson
kid.
show. Yeah, I was
first time he heard rap
7
on
years
the
old.
radio.
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy.
Stand on my mother's toilet stool, and my whole world changed just like that.
That record changed
like that.
me too. And in the exploration into, I was 9. And when that record, my father, worked at radio station in New York, WKTU, Disco 92. And he brought home, and you know what it is, a promotional copy of Rapper's Delight, Sugar Hill Gang. And he gave it to me and my brother. I was 9. My brother was 11. And he said, you guys got to listen to this. It's called Rapper's Delight. This is called rap music. It's going to be a big deal. And we had the orange promotional copy, and we wore that record out, the 15-minute version, the 7-minute version, the instrumental. And it was like, but it took you in. I mean, watching color TV so I could see the Knicks play basketball, and, talking about,
checkbook, credit cards, money.
You just like, where are we going? Like, it changed me. It was like a game changer.
Well, it was. Well, we just celebrated the 40th anniversary of the release of that song. And as a matter of fact, I had Master G on the show because he had texted me the night before, and he says, tomorrow's the 40th anniversary. And I'm like, that's significant. Huge. And I said on the air, that I said, I don't think I'm overstating this, that is one of the most, this is the only time I would ever invite anyone on this show to celebrate the release of a song. Okay? It was a shift. It created total. Yep. And then Tony brought up, well, tell him what, it's on a list of 3 songs.
For me, it's on a list of 3 songs
and you're right.
that created a shift in popular culture and everything that followed it. First would be Rock Around the Clock, because of in the 50s and rock and roll and popularizing that. In America, the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand, ushered in that whole British invasion, and Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight.
Right. Period.
Period. Hip-hop. That's
Period.
it.
Period.
That's
Rapper's
amazing,
Delight
man.
is the beginning of everything. Whether it came from, and we all know the story of Grandma, they got it done. They put it out. The beat, the playfulness, the like, there was no cursing in it, and that's why, like, as a kid, it was just like boom, and everybody else before it, you couldn't deny it.
Yeah.
It changed. There's nothing on radio right now that you can't give credit to Sugar Hill Gang. That anything that has to do with hip hop, break beats, Rapper's Delight is. Period.
Isn't that something?
Crazy.
And here's the other thing that it had beyond those other 2 songs that you listed, that it ushered in, for some, a new culture. It introduced them to a culture. It wasn't just the music. It was a culture.
Right. That's right.
That's significant, man.
It's huge.
Yeah, man.
It's ridiculous. That song is very, very, very important, and that makes perfect sense with those 3 songs. It's monumental.
Yeah. Man, it's awesome kicking it with you, man. This is really cool, man.
I appreciate it.
I love it. Again, Michael Rapaport is our guest. He's going to be at the Improv, DC Improv, this weekend. Friday, 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:45. Saturday, 7 o'clock and 9, and then on Sunday at 7 o'clock. As Tony mentioned, some of the shows are sold out, so you want to go online and check it out.
DCimprov.com.
There you go. My man. Michael, man, let's stay in touch, man.
Absolutely.
Man, it's really good to meet you, man.
I appreciate it.
No
You
doubt,
got
man.
all the stories of all the people. I'm sure you've met them all the artists, all of them. So I appreciate it.
Well, we can share some stories.
I would love that.
You got some too. God bless you, man.
Thank you. God bless you. Thanks for having me.
All right, Michael Rapaport here on Magic 102.3 and 92.7.